What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It is time to take it deep. It's that time of the week. And yes, we're here. We got tons to talk about. Big news over the weekend, though. Huge news. I don't know if you knew this or not, Mike. I'm going to break this news to you. Can you hear the drum roll?
I can hear it.
I had Taco Bell wings finally.
Oh, wow. That's not what I thought it was going to be, but good job. I'm proud of you. Hip, hip, hooray.
Well, last time I tried to get them, they were sold out. Like they bring it, you know how Taco Bell does like this limited thing?
Yeah.
And I'm on a diet, so that was pretty much all I was able to eat that day.
And Taco Bell does do a good job of making sure that their shit goes viral and TikTok and all over social media, so everybody knows about it.
Yeah. So I got him because I saw an influencer, well-known one. His name is SG Johnson Voiceovers. He's a black gentleman that does a lot of food ratings, and he's amazing at it. His voice is amazing. So this guy is a professional voiceover actor, and so he talked about it. And people got all uppity about the wings. They're like, oh, and he made a good point. He goes, I'm not comparing this to like John's Wing Shack. He's saying
Right.
these are a good wing for a fast food wing, right?
Uh-huh.
And I have to admit, he was right. I was pleasantly surprised by the Taco Bell wing. They were crunchy. They weren't bony. They were meaty, but they weren't like your giant steroid wings. You get 5 for about $7.50, which is what the wings are going for these days. So I got 10, about 1,500 calories. So, is that it? Were you introducing the wings, Mike?
I kind of was.
I'm gonna dry off your hair real quick there. Okay.
But,
oh, there he goes. Oh,
there,
I like it.
He's presenting the wings. I just wanted to get some.
I feel
some
like he was
video.
an extra for an alien in Men in Black. This guy. I don't know who he is.
He was showcased on Tosh.0. I will say that. That's where I know this guy
Okay.
from. For his food reviews, he only does them while suited and with his slick back hair.
And he has a part in his hair like he's Marty McFly. Okay.
Yeah, but he is showing off the wing, and we get to see it in all of its glory, real close up. And
Now, his wing was girthier than my wing.
I like a girthy wing. I was gonna say that I like a girth. I want some girth to my wing.
Yeah, I figured you were about the girth.
Yeah,
more things than one.
It's gotta be like a tuna can. I need it like a girthy with my wing. I don't want no non-girth wing. I want some.
Speaking
girth
of tuna can, there are some creepy porn nicknames out there. There's a porn star out there, and his nickname is the Human Beer Can.
Oh, sure, he's a pleasure to work with.
His name is well. His porn name is even awesome too. It's Peter North.
But see that little hanging off part on the wing. I like that little hanging off part. I like my wings uncircumcised.
So for what we're that's funny. You know, it's funny, man. People protest all kinds of weird stuff. When you said that made me think of it. I'm running across like things on TikTok, whatever, and people are protesting circumcision. I'm like, what the fuck? I feel like anything to be offended by, it's been touched. Every eyeball's been touched. It's children. It's mutilation. What? What the fuck? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So, listen,
it is mutilation.
What is wrong with you?
That's my wonderful fiance asking the question that she asks every day. Yeah. But I
well,
mean, to me,
we should ask Laura what is wrong with her because she's married.
To me, circumcision is mutilation. I feel like you're not giving the child a choice in the matter. You're mutilating a child. I myself am circumcised, and I've had many dinners.
So am I.
Where I have looked at my mother dead in the eye and said, "Why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me?"
Well, my dad's dead, and it was his decision, and I've been okay. My penis hasn't been neglected. It's gotten plenty of love and tugs. Okay, so I just think we're not going to go off on a circumcision tangent here
because I can. I really will. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you how strongly people feel about this. I posted about it, and I put a hashtag in an Instagram post, and a random person inboxed me about it because they were so upset about it on Instagram. And I said, you know what you should do? Don't listen to the fucking show.
It upsets me very much so. That's why I started getting very passionate, because you are mutilating a child. You are cutting off a piece of that child. If that piece wasn't supposed to be there, it wouldn't be there. And if a man,
you're right,
older,
they should leave the umbilical cord attached.
If he doesn't want it to be there anymore, he could get it taken off of when he's older. No, the umbilical cord is there to serve a purpose, to get nutrients to the baby while he's in the womb. Once he's out, it serves no purpose. I don't want to hear that shit.
You hear that?
I don't want to hear that.
I'm censoring you right now.
I don't want to hear it. It's bullshit.
I'm putting this on a topic. This will be on the topics that we put in the category of things that we don't bring when Mike's on the show.
Let me ask
We're gonna put it right next to tipping.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know why in the United States? Now, we understand that with Jewish individuals, it became a religious thing. But why in the United States circumcision became so common? Do you know why?
I don't know why. I know why my dad did it.
Because Dr. Kellogg, yes, the same guy who made Kellogg's cornflakes, he was actually a doctor. Dr. Kellogg started telling individuals that if they had their kids circumcised, that they would stop masturbating. It was a religious thing to try and get kids to stop masturbating. They also would burn the woman's clitoris. They would sear it because they said that would stop them from masturbating. The woman one didn't catch on, but the guy one did. And as time went on, it was first off to stop them from masturbating. Matt, do you think...
Hold on. You're cherry picking here. You're cherry picking.
What?
I'm going to give you... I'm not going to say you're wrong.
Right.
About that. But what I'm going to tell you is there are a few other reasons. And we're going to move on from circumcision. And we're not going to talk about, like, baby penises all day. So, all right. So, there's a religious reason. For Judaism, they feel it's cleaner.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now, I'm not going to debate that with them. Now, I will tell you, when I got it done as a kid, my dad had a rabbi come over and do it. I don't know why he did it or not. I'll ask my mom later.
You had a brisk? You had a brisk?
I'm not even Jewish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been named an honorary Jew a few times by my Jewish friends, so maybe the spirit of the circumcision, went into my soul. But whatever.
I love that my mother, toxic mom, chimes in when we start talking about this.
Yeah, she gets mad about other
She's
subjects, but she's right at the front door with this one.
she's heard this a million times.
All right, so listen, um, I'm glad that you brought that up because that will jump into what we're going to talk about conspiracy theorists later on. But the Taco Bell wings, though, they were good, crunchy. The sauce, the spicy ranch sauce wasn't bad. I would get it again if I had a craving, and I would say it's better than some fast food chains wings, believe it or not. Um, Better than Hooters. They're going out of business. Um, I put it up there with Buffalo Wild Wings. I think it might be better than that. I know that sounds crazy, but it's fried. It's done well. It's got a good kick to it. It's not too salty. Got a good crunch and a good sauce. And for a fast food wing, you can't go wrong. Because I got to tell you, there's other fast food wings that were like, I think I remember one that was really sweet. And you might know about this, Mike. The honey barbecue KFC wing. Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
It was sweet, it was good, but it was messy, and the wings felt like mushy almost. What do you say about that? I know you have a firsthand experience with this product.
It was very good. I enjoyed them a lot. I thought they were very good. The place I got them were very crispy.
They were good wings, but would you say the overall wing quality was up to par with all the other wings, or was it just a little step below because it's a fast food wing?
I tell you the truth, I don't remember. I know that you're talking about the 7-Eleven one.
No, no, no. I'm talking about the KFC honey
Okay.
barbecue wings.
See, it's been so
Make
long for
those?
it's been so long since I've had those. The 7-Eleven ones are on par with any any pub or bar that you go to. But
By the way,
the
7-Eleven
KFC ones,
wings, I believe, are Tyson chicken. You could buy them at
so
your
good,
Sam's or BJ's.
so good.
Um, so
Six
I
out of
don't.
10 uncircumcised men choose them.
Wow, I would love to see that stat. Yeah, I would love to see where you get those statistics from. That's really really interesting. I wonder how you collected the data. Did you call? Hello, sir. We're taking a random survey. First off, I have to ask you because you need to qualify for the survey. Circumcised or not? Huh?
Just pop that thing.
Circumcised or not?
Do me a
And
favor.
then he answers. He
Pop that
goes,
thing out.
"Well, he's like, okay, not circumcised. Ew, that's disgusting. Okay, let's continue. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Now I have to ask you about wings. What? You asked me about my penis. Now you want to talk about wings? I would love to see how that
Well,
survey was completed.
that's how this show has started off.
Yeah, pretty much. So crazy. But one thing I've been noticing, like I like to notice, like you see trends on TikTok. And TikTok listens to you. And that's not conspiracy. They use Siri and Google. When you say "Hey Siri" or "Okay Google," or "Hey Alexa," they're on all the time because they don't turn the mics on like that. It's not like, oh, the mic magically turns on. I'm just letting you know about the hardware. I have it set up on my phone where I could turn them off. See, there you
Oh,
go right now.
oh.
Google, shut the fuck up. That's not my, but there's so many listening devices in your house. The point is, TikTok definitely will hear your conversations and then you'll start seeing stuff in your news feed. I swear to God, I've seen it 100 times. I've written it down. Now, I was talking to my buddy about the gym. I'm going to talk about my weight loss journey later on. And he was talking to me about the gym, and then all these things started coming up. And there's this trend going on in the gym where people are filming guys looking at them while they're working out. Now, now we've all seen people look at people at the gym and stare sometimes. Staring's never okay, right? But they are shaming these guys, saying they're a creep. And what I'm think is great is that people are actually stitching these people and they're turning off the comments, right? Because they don't like the replies they're getting because they're trying to shame these dudes for looking at them and they're not actually looking at them. They're just in their peripheral. I've seen this several times, and you could always tell when someone's annoyed by something when they turn the comments off. By the way, never trust anything online where you can't comment on it, like if it's something someone sells. So as you know, I've done the TikTok experiment of buying things off TikTok. If you can't comment on it, it's bullshit because they don't want people to be commenting about what they're doing is bullshit. Now, TikTok allows people to do that, which I think is total bullshit. If you want to turn the comments off on a personal post, that's one thing, but advertisement, you should never be allowed to do that. So I sent Mike a few videos so I can give you visually what I'm talking about. But while Mike pulls up those videos, I'm going to describe to the audio audience, audio only audience, what I'm talking about. Imagine if you're a woman, you're working out, and a guy just hawks you down and staring at you. Very uncomfortable. Shouldn't happen. Should never happen, right? But there's also the men's side of it, right? Where you're a guy, you're working, and you may glance. Glancing is one thing, staring is another. I don't think there's anything wrong with a glance. Now, say I'm crazy for that. I don't think I am. But you don't know why they're glancing. They could be saying, "Hey, are they done on that machine?" They could be seeing like, "How long have you been there?" Looking at something behind you. Who knows, right? And in this video, this girl decided to repost this guy, which is fucked up, and trying to brand him as a creep. And I'll let Mike show the video. Mike will be my independent
Bro,
observer
gym
here because he
talk
hasn't seen
is
this yet.
insane right now. Y'all got motherfuckers scared to look in the gym. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want anyone around me in the vicinity. Imagine being posted on TikTok and all you were trying to do was just get a kettlebell. And it doesn't stop here. Like, bro, he'll never work a day in his life. Whether he was being weird or not, or whether he was recording, his life is over, bro. And this is just ridiculous. You see him dressing. He's butt ass naked and you're taking pictures. I used to work at a gym like this, and this would immediately have been a canceled membership. Bro, gym talk.
First of all, I want to tell you, girls don't know what it's like to be in a guy's locker room, in the gym, and you're gonna laugh at this, but it's kind of nerve wracking. One, you might catch someone out of the corner of your eye looking in you the opposite mirror, which is kind of uncomfortable. So we could relate how you feel in a certain way, or you get the older guy who doesn't give any fucks at all and is just walking around naked the whole fucking locker room all the time, doing stretches, dangling his balls, and I'm like, "What the fuck, man? Like, there's no etiquette here, you know?" But
Uh,
these video I'm sorry, go ahead.
this is some straight up bullshit. First off,
This is a joke kind
in
of,
this
but yeah.
video right here, I know it's a joke, but that ass right there to the right of that guy,
She's out here on Sunday, double cheeked up.
me and my fiance are both gonna look at that. I mean, you went to the gym like that.
Yeah,
we are
we'll play the
both
video.
we are both gonna look.
This video kind of depicts how
Yeah, you gotta not look at the goddamn thing. Keep your eyes forward. Yeah.
he's sweating like he's getting tortured by the CIA. So that pretty much the way I could describe it. So stop laying these thirst traps out here. But these people are doing this though.
I would
Some of
understand.
them.
I would understand if while a girl's working out, a guy literally went up and started sniffing their hair. Like, I'd get that. That's creepy.
That would
That's
be
a
creepy.
creep.
Yeah, that would
That's
be creepy in
fucked up.
any setting.
I would understand if a guy went up and Laura says, "No, you're
Sniffing the
not."
hair.
She goes, "No, you're not." You know what, Laura? You'd be looking and telling me not to look. I don't want to hear it, but don't you look as she's staring daggers at that girl's ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's creepy to look at a girl while she's working out, or there are girls that look at guys while they're working out. I don't
You
want to
can't
hear
stare
it.
though. Staring is creepy. A glance is no problem, I think. There's a difference between a glance and a stare. Like staring at someone and you're
How
and if
long?
you're holding
How
your
long
phone
does
like
a
this-
glance? How long does a glance last? Laura just writes, "Absolutely, I will."
I mean, you only need 1 or 2 seconds for your spank bank. You just go. No, I'm just. But
I mean, like
listen,
if I'm looking for a good 10 seconds, is that bad?
10 seconds is a long time. That's a long stare. That's a little
Why?
creepy.
Why is that bad though?
All right. Let's time 10 seconds right here. I'm just gonna look at it right.
All right, I'm just
10
gonna stare at
seconds
the
silent.
screen.
We're gonna start right now. Okay, you wouldn't find that creepy?
No.
Oh my god!
Oh,
All
wait.
right,
If a girl stared at you for that long, would you have a problem with it?
for 10 seconds, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up? How can I help you?" Welcome to Pound Town. No, I wouldn't say that. No, listen, it's different for girls because I do get there's creepy men out there. I do get there are people like that. But here's the thing: I'm gonna bring up influencer. Her name is Jennifer Fernandez. She
Okay.
admits to a mistake after calling out feral men. She said feral at the gym. She's a Twitter influencer, issued an apology Tuesday after she went viral for posting a video about a feral man at the gym. Now, there's this guy named Joey Swole on TikTok, which he makes very good videos about people's gym etiquette. Like, if you shame an old man, he's going to say, you're really shaming an old man for working out in the gym. And I appreciate this guy because he sticks up for everyone. All races, all genders, it doesn't matter. Age, it doesn't matter. So she issued an apology on Twitter, and it's called Twit Longer because there's only 140 characters. She wanted to apologize sincerely to the man at the gym where this all started. He didn't do anything wrong to me, and I blew the interaction out of proportion, wrote Fernandez. I know many people think that I'm only apologizing because I got called out from the video I posted, and this is half right. The video, since it's been deleted, shows Fernandez lifting weights and complaining about a man standing behind her. Now you can't find the video because it's been deleted. Fernandez then zooms in on the alleged creep who can be seen nearby and later offers to help her attach a plate to the barbell she's using. The video also features several captions, including, "What if I just ripped out his pee-pee out of his socket so he can never reproduce again, and natural selection better take these weirdos out." Fellow fitness influencer Joey Swole called out the streamer, saying that she needs to do better. Women are harassed at gyms. This is what Joey Swole said. This is via the New York Post. And women are harassed in gyms, and it needs to stop. But you are not one of them. An act of kindness or glance does not make you a victim, reads the caption of Swole's video. Swole suggested in the video that the man simply was trying to help Fernandez because he thought she was struggling with the weight, and pointed out that she was in front of him and had her camera facing him. First and foremost, as I've said before, there's a big difference, and I agree with him here, between staring at somebody and simply looking or glancing at them. Mike's would be the look, I guess, for 10 seconds. So she has a long apology, and I'll post it here in the chat if you guys want to talk about it. I always say that, never do, but this time I actually am. Right there. And if you want to see it, but she said, it was immature, and then she admitted that she was a victim of sexual harassment or abuse before, which I don't deny her, but maybe she has some PTSD going on, and you should get that addressed because it's hard for a guy to recover from something like that, and it's not right. And the other thing too that I take umbrage to is I have been going to gyms for years. The style of what people wear has changed. There are leggings out there literally to make your ass look bigger. Like they're designed in the frame of the woman. And we all know, and listen, before I say about it, I don't want that to come off as complaining. Please keep wearing them. Thank you. I'm just saying that some people set thirst traps out here. Some people, like that first video, the guy was just walking by to see if she was done her set. And they repost these things, So instead of taking action on it and going talking to the gym, you're going to repost it, right? So then he could do it to another girl if he is a creep, because you want to get above that 1,000 on TikTok so you can go live. And this is going to bridge into another thing I wanted to talk about. People on social media, and I talk about this all the time on this show, love to take the low-hanging fruit, the content creation that is going to get you the most reaction. And, to me, as a content creator, the best ones don't take shortcuts, and they have a genuine audience because their content is genuine. They're passionate about it. They care about it, and it's coming from a place that's real. Okay. This girl got roasted by people after it got reposted because, they were saying you're just looking to get likes and views, not the Jennifer girl, the one from the first video. Kudos to Jennifer, though. She owned up to it, apologized, and said she'll do better. And I respect her for that because, we don't have tolerance for people making mistakes and then saying, hey, I'm going to be better. And she apologized to the individual. So kudos to her for doing that and owning up to it. I respect that because not a lot of people want to own up to things. They want to die on a hill. That's not necessarily necessary for them to die on. But, I see all kinds of stuff on TikTok that really interests me or bothers me. And a lot of times I'll block it because TikTok wants to feed you shit that you don't want. They like TikTok and all these platforms, especially Facebook, not so much YouTube, I think, but I'm not so sure about Twitch. Maybe Mike, you can correct me on this. I know you have more experience with that platform than I do. They want people to fight. They want people to go back and forth. It creates activity and it feeds the algorithm. That's what they want. And so, anybody listening to the show knows I'm not a right-wing person, but it will feed me all kinds of right-wing bullshit. because it wants me to comment on it. And you know what we have to learn to do is don't give these people clout. These people that make junk content, don't fucking comment on it. Just scroll right by it. Seriously. Don't share it. Don't comment on it. Don't give them any fucking clout, and they will die out. Because all you're doing is feeding the trolls. Now, if you like it, you want to watch it, you want to share it, you want to prove a point, I'm not saying don't do that. You're bad for it. I'm just saying don't give them clouts. And like you see these accounts, like there won't be anybody behind it, and I'm just as guilty. Like I have an account with no content on it, and I have no excuse because I suck. And people, there won't be a face. You can't look anything up, and they'll just put all this bullshit out there, and it will just be like they're just baiting people. You know, they're just poking people. And you know what? That's low hanging fruit and it's shit content. Like you're not talented, it's easy, and you won't last. I guarantee it. I could think of like I had someone, my ex, who I'm going to talk about right now. It'll be hilarious if she's actually listening to the show because she never did. That's one of the grapes I had with her. So hi, Monica. Anyway, listen. She just sent me a video right before I went on the air, and it was about the conspiracy of food processing plants in 2022 getting burned down. Have you heard about this one, Mike?
No.
Yeah, it's the one that goes around. Like people never want to claim anything. So here's the thing that goes on, and this is what made me start thinking about this. And you might not be privy to this, but Laura will know about this because it has to do with the football games this weekend. All I heard from people is, "Oh, the game was fixed. Oh, they're always fixed. They're fixed. They're fixed." Mike, if you were into sports, and I know you're not, would you watch something if you knew it was fixed? Wrestling doesn't count because it's scripted.
No, I mean nobody wants to watch something where the outcome, in terms of sports, is predetermined.
So let's go with Survivor or Big Brother or a Real World Challenge. Like if you knew it was predetermined who's going to win, and so there's going to be people that say that it is, but whatever. Would you feel vested in that?
No.
Right. So my thing is people will say that, but they'll tune back in every fucking week because you're full of shit. This is why you're full of shit. Because if your team won, you wouldn't be saying that. Because you don't really care about the fairness of the game or the accuracy of the information. You want your bias confirmed and you want your gratification. People were saying that about the Chiefs and the Bengals game. It was fixed. Wasn't fixed. It's not true. You know, when these conspiracy theories come up, no one ever asks the simple question: why? What's the end goal to them doing it? Right? Did you ever hear anybody ask that, Mike? When conspiracy theories talk, like, why would they do that?
Right.
What's the end goal?
And
9 times out of 10, they don't have a fucking answer. Like, let's think about this. Why would people be more upset? And I'm 41. I remember people when I was a kid, they would be like, before gambling was legalized, they would be like, "Oh, there must be a lot of money on this in Vegas, or there must be they want the better ratings, so they want the bigger cities in the Super Bowl, or the bigger cities in the World Series." No, listen, this is where you guys are wrong. You know, and this is the thing where people don't have the critical thinking. Let's take that out and let's park that and talk about that for a second and just look at it in the spot it's at. If they were fixing it, why would they do that? They already make billions of dollars. Billions. Are they Scrooge McDuck? Do they need another safe full of gold coins? Like, what would be the motivation to fix the game? Do they want to control the narrative? Do they have a preferred narrative? Maybe. But at the end of the day, when you talk to the Bengals fans that were all upset about the Chiefs winning, they called back 2 touchdowns on the Chiefs. If they wanted the Chiefs to win, why would they do that? Right? No one, when you believe in conspiracy theorists and people that are just ripe with it, they never ask the why. They never ask the opposing question, right? And I got pissed off about it because I love football and I don't think it's fixed. And if you do think it's fixed, I challenge you to a debate on here and I will crush you because you will not use logic. You will just talk out your ass. And Laura will relate to this. The best one I used to hear as an Eagles fan was this: "Oh, the Eagles don't really want to win a Super Bowl because they've never won one. They just want to get season ticket money. They just want to make money." And it was the most Joey bag of donuts. And one of my good friends said that to me. And every time he brings up that the NFL is fixed, I was like, "Remember what the fuck you said before 2017? Eagles would never win a Super Bowl with Jeffrey Lurie because they don't actually want to win. How'd that work out? Your plan was your plan foiled, right? Because no, he was full of shit and he knows it. So then people will go into, well, that's just my opinion. Remember what we taught you here on Taking It Deep. What do we say about saying something's just my opinion or what the opinion is?
I was waiting for you to tell us.
I was asking you. It is considered the lowest form of intelligence.
There you go.
Your opinion is considered.
I thought you were going to go with the good old fashioned opinions are like assholes. I thought that's where you were going.
That too, but when you converse with these people online, you do have to like save your energy and remember, and just keep this saying in your head: never engage an unarmed opponent in a battle of wits. Right? People were being irrational about the games because there was money on the line. So there's legalized betting, more emotion into it. They will never admit that, but it's true. They will never admit when their team benefited from a bad call. Okay. And that's really why they were upset. If you think something's rigged, why would you bet on it? That's why I don't bet on WWE wrestling. You can't actually do that in some places. You know why I don't bet on it? Because it's fucking scripted. I heard that in the playoffs for the NFL that it was scripted. You heard about the guy dropping dead, not dead. I'm sorry. Sorry. The guy, he did actually die on the field and they resuscitated him. Damar Hamlin. The conspiracy theory, there was a couple out there, but one of them was, well, they want to make the Bills go to the Super Bowl after that happened. So it's definitely going to be the Bills. Right. And that fell through. And then at the end of the season, I almost bought into it. Oh, the Lions are definitely going to get beat by the Packers because they want the Packers in the playoffs and they don't care if the Lions win or not. And they don't want to see the Seahawks there. That didn't work out either. So conspiracy theorists never come out of the woodwork like, you know what? I was wrong about that one. I didn't really get that one right. You ever notice that, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they ride that train till it falls off.
Yeah, and they're like, "What were you talking about? I don't remember talking about that." Yeah. Okay. So the food processing plant. There was a bunch of food processing plant fires in 2022. And you know what, Mike? I think I'm going to send you this video. And
I love
videos. Pull it up.
Is it from the hub?
Oh no, it's your worst nightmare. It's the one you hate.
Oh,
TikTok.
That one.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Mike doesn't hate TikTok.
No, TikTok videos just don't play well on regular web browsers.
So this is from Reuters.com, which is a really reputable place to fact check things. I use them because it's kind of a worldwide newspaper and it's very reputable, and the AP uses them a lot. And you can just tell when you read it, but that's if you read stuff like this. Social media users are sharing the claim there is a planned increase in fires at food processing plants to purposely create food shortages. However, there is no evidence to support this claim. Now, this is 2022. We all knew after the pandemic ended that there was going to be food shortages. We all knew that there were going to be shortages. And you hear all the doom and gloom and conspiracy behind it. Now, someone who is a shit content creator and shit poster is Charlie Kirk. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But yeah, he just creates shit. So he puts on Twitter, he's verified food processing plants just don't accidentally burn down at the rate they are certainly, and don't coincidentally become landing pads for plane crashes at the rate they are. Our food supply is under attack, America. The question is by who? Not one fucking source in his tweet. Okay? The text in one post reads, food processing plants just don't accidentally burn down, as we said, right?
Mm-hmm.
One image here lists 12 fire incidents in the food processing plants around the country. There is no evidence to suggest any of these fires were premeditated in an effort to create food shortages. Now, I want you to play this. Did you get the video ready?
Yeah, it's up there.
Crack the video and just listen to this. Now, keep in mind what I was just talking about.
22 out of the 2,200 meat plants, farms, factory farms, whether it be pigs, poultry, cows, goats, out of the 2,200 farms in the United States, 1,100 of them burnt down in the last year. In the year 2022, 1,100 burnt down. So you're wondering why your poultry is so much. You're wondering why your eggs are so much. Literally millions upon millions of animals were burnt to death. And that doesn't seem a little suspicious to you. 1,100 farms burnt down, killing millions and millions of livestock in 1 year. That's not a conspiracy theory. That happened. You know how many pharmaceutical companies have burnt down in that same time? 0. It's a damn shame.
I might stitch this jerk off tonight and reveal the Godfrey to the world on TikTok.
Oh boy,
So
you're gonna
here's
reveal.
let's give him the Hulk Hogan leg drop right here, okay? Because I'm going to boot him in the face right now. Now, Mike, how many pharmaceutical companies do you think factories are there in the United States?
How many what? How many pharmaceutical companies?
Pharmaceutical factories. Pharmaceutical factories.
10? I don't know.
It's got to be more than that, right?
That's never been something that has crossed my mind a day in my life.
Okay, so 2,655.
There you go.
Right? That's an increase of 6.2% from 2022. Now, there's a whole bunch of those, but none of those burned down, so I guess no one wants to take care of that. So he generalizes a lot. You hear that's my dog, everyone.
I heard the dog.
Mike, talk for like 5.
Oh my God, he's yelling at the dog. Everybody said Godfrey hate mail.
Yeah, well, listen, I love my dog, and in my weight loss journey, I've been doing about 3 miles to 2.5 miles of walk a day, split up in 2, and she is very routine oriented, so that's her way of communicating. She'll go out, and now she's right behind me, and she'll go out and bark at me. Go lie down. Go. But she'll listen to that, though, once I tell her. So she'll go out to the living room and bark at me to get my attention, and I always take care of her, but, she's getting impatient. So that being said, and made me lose my train of thought. So this guy basically goes on a rant about 1,100 factories getting burned. Didn't provide one fucking source, not one article, not one shred, not even a clickbait article, even trying to support it. Not even a green screen of a bullshit headline. Just him talking out of his ass, probably 3 whiskeys deep and half a joint in. And he's saying a lot of grandiose shit. But people will go to this guy's page, believe him, because why? You want to believe it because it's confirming a bias you already have built in. That's not factually based. It's intellectually lazy. That's what that is. You're letting someone else think for you. And this is what I think people do a lot with religion. Organized religion. They really do. Oh, you just have to have faith. I'm just going to believe it based off what a guy said because it makes sense to what I already believe. You're not challenging yourself. You're being intellectually lazy. It's junk food for your brain. It really is. I mean, Mike, did that guy say anything that sounded like it was fucking believable?
So
like 1,100. His premise is food prices went up because, and things are so expensive, and chickens aren't around because they were burned down on purpose to increase prices. When in America, and he's Canadian I'm guessing by his hat, and Canada's almost the same way. Guess what? They can increase prices whether they fucking want to or not. They don't have to burn shit down.
This is the problem with the age of the internet, where literally every human being on the planet with the slightest bit of tech competency has a voice. One of the main reasons why I love watching and will spew the content that I've learned during something like Adam Ruins Everything, the television show that talks about all this kind of stuff. Because during Adam Ruins Everything,
I think he did an episode on this, actually.
He probably did. He did one on circumcision. That's where I got a lot of my knowledge from circumcision from, was Adam Ruins Everything. But during his show, any fact that he puts out, he has at the top right corner or top left corner the actual facts, like where they got the information from, where you can fact check them. The everyday schmo isn't going to do that. Is this guy talking facts? Where did he get his facts? All these things come into question. Is he right? I don't know. I don't think he is. It sounds like a bunch of bullshit. It sounds like a bunch of what about tinfoil wearing hat kind of conspiracy theory stuff. But could he be correct? Absolutely. I don't know. I don't have enough information to say it.
Here's the thing about that. I just don't believe people wholesale. I just don't. Okay, so you're saying that, and in my brain, I say something is off. Let me look in that further, and then I'll be surprised later on. Some people just buy it hook, line, and sinker because they already want to believe it. They already do believe it. And have you ever been in an argument where like you're an expert on something? Like if someone was talking to you about podcasting or things of that nature, and you've heard them talk, and you're just there, and you hear them talking, and they're just talking, and you didn't interject. You just hear them talking out their ass completely, like just talking dribble bullshit that isn't true, and you're just laughing. You chuckle to yourself. You're like, okay, sure.
Oh yeah.
I have stuff like that too. Like I'll hear people say certain things like that I know about deeply, that I'm a quasi expert on, and it will make me laugh because I'm like, yeah, where'd you get that from? And a lot of times you'll know, and that's when I see a guy like this, I gotta imagine there's people that just hear him talking. And you know what? And here's the thing: you can have a different audience with social media. You can farm the earth for a bunch of idiots because people at your bar probably totally told you you're out of your damn mind already. So you're bored with those 10 people that are going to hold you accountable, or your family or friends. So you got to find new people.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side of the coin is people that like to pick the low hanging fruit. This kind of content is the easiest way. I almost want to get like a wrestler mask mic, like Rey Mysterio Jr. or a luchador, and make comment and just say bullshit like that and see how quickly I can build the followers and take it off. Like, I tricked you all. I tricked every single one of you. You're stupid. Everything I said was a lie. You know what I mean?
Well, you're gonna gain a following in that way because of the simple fact that it's drama. It's sensationalized. It's more fun and more entertaining to think that shit really happens than to not.
Yeah. And the thing is there's a thing called Occam's razor, right? Where if one thing is correct out of their 200 claims, they're like, see, that proves everything right. That's not how it works. That's why it's called Occam's razor. We'll discuss that another day. But I pull up this Reuters article. There's so many news sources here. And this is how you could tell. If 1,100 fires happen at food plants, it would be impossible to suppress it being reported, and I'm going to tell you why. Any fire locally that's that big, doesn't it make the local news, Mike, or the local paper?
Yep.
Every single one. And every time I look up these claims, you know what I noticed? Either there's no local news about it, or B, there's a fake local news channel where somebody put like NXT22 on it.
And you bring up a great point, because this is what I've always said to people that I know, and I know personal friends who are big time conspiracy theorists, and I always say to them a couple of things. One, most of these conspiracy theories would have to involve thousands upon thousands, if not millions, of people to be involved. Not only to be involved, but to keep their mouth shut. That is very, very difficult to do. Second, if there was a conspiracy theory on this, if your regular Joe Schmo, like we just saw, was able to piece this together, then the news outlets would piece it together. And the news outlets...
What do you mean? Professional journalists with sources and resources at their fingertips would be able to source it as well?
This guy gets to go viral and gets his 15 minutes of fame. Whereas these news outlets, whoever break it first and whoever has the real scoop on this stuff, is making millions of dollars off of this. So their interest in it is to break the news story and to release it. Whether it's Fox or whether it's CNN, everybody has their own agenda. Their number one agenda is to make money.
I'm glad you said that, because the best modern day example I can give you is Fox News and One American News, I believe, and Newsmax, claiming that Old Dominion voting systems had the machines rigged. They are getting sued for over $1 billion fucking dollars, and they're probably going to lose based off what I've heard lawyers talk about, because they said it on camera. And here's the thing about that: when you're a real journalist, you have some culpability in what you say. A guy on TikTok doesn't, right? So they're in $1 billion plus lawsuit. I mean, that's a real thing that's going on right now. You remember hearing about that, right?
Oh yeah,
Mike?
yeah, I remember. That's big news.
They have a real good shot of losing. not Old Dominion, but Fox News and all those. And guess what? They're suing. I'm seeing right now. Voting. It was Old Dominion voting. I think I'm saying the name right here.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Dominion. That's the name that
Maybe it was
rings true in my
Dominion.
ear.
Old Dominion is Oh, here it is. It's Dominion. Old
Okay.
Dominion's a trucking. So is Dominion's. It's a $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit, which would be a record.
Gotcha.
And you know what? Fox News and those guys, even to a certain extent, even though they're bad, and CNN, MSNBC, they don't go as far because they're going to have to answer to it. And I bet you once they take 1.6 billion out of their ass, they're going to tread a lot later. I'll give you another example. I think it was Newsmax. He went on, right? He's another dishonest content creator and said, "Oh, DirecTV's kicking us off because they're trying to silence us because we're conservative." No, they kicked you off because you asked for more money and they didn't want to pay it to you. But he didn't say that. Their CEO, right? And
Right.
it's dishonest. Now, in this world, people take the low hanging fruit. The Trump, I'm not talking about whether it gets them or not, but the Trump fruit is the easiest one to gain followers on. The right wing conspiracy theories, the QAnon shit is the easiest. People are like, yup, I believe it, yup, right? And when you ask people to connect the dots and you go down to a conversation, they either get frustrated, B, say I have to do more research, or C, they just say, well, those people you're getting your information from are obviously behind all the going on. I'm like, they are. Who are those people? You know, when you ask for specifics, they can't provide it. And the reason is because they're full of shit. Like you're intellectual, you're being lazy. It's lazy. It really, really is. Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about that, about people being intellectually lazy. So it's just, this is a quote from him, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know if you guys know this guy. I like him. So imagine someone comes up to you with some crystals and they tell you that there's a sort of crystal energy embedded within them. And if you rub them together, this energy field will release and it will enter your body or cure you of ailments. All right. I have several things to say about this. One, it is equally as intellectually lazy for you to say, great, give them to me. How much? Here's my money. I'll use them tonight. As it is to say, this can't possibly be true. Get out of here. You're a charlatan. Both of those are equally intellectually lazy. So if I want to have a conversation with you about it, I'm not being lazy. I want to extrapolate this and pull this out. But what happens is, what I find so fascinating is that when you try to have this conversation with these type of people, they get offended and they feel attacked when you want to go back and forth about it, because their fiber is so weak around it because they have no fucking facts. None. I was in the wireless industry for years. Okay. And I used to get in this argument with my ex about 5G technology, right? And she says, well, they're messing with the radio wave frequencies. That's how they make people sick with it. I said, okay. I said, listen, you do understand that cell phone towers are kind of like radios in a sense, where they all have a certain frequency they have to operate on, because if they don't, they'll interfere with other things that use radio waves, like police scanners, walkie talkies, airport equipment, you name it, right? And so I'm like, they can't just turn the dial up and down on it, because it's like turning the channel on a radio. You understand that, right, Mike?
Right.
And so there's bandwidth, and I said, like, well, what makes 5G different from 4G? Like, what makes it so much more harmful? And they can answer. I'm like, it's a different frequency and it carries data faster in shorter bursts. I said, that same type of signal is on your Wi-Fi router at home. There's a 5G signal and a 4G signal, a 2G signal on most routers. 2G is around because it's a lower frequency and it can travel through walls easier. That's why it still exists. That's why your smart devices at home, like your lights and things of that nature, use that, because of how far it can travel. Data travels faster on 5G. And I used to work in the wireless industry when it was 3G and then 4G. And you know what's funny, Mike? In the wireless industry, you're allowed to round up. Did you know that? You can say you have 5G, but it's really 4.5G. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
There's no law. We used to do it all the time at AT&T. They're like, oh, we have 3G. It was really, an edge was 2G. It was really 2.5.
Wow.
They do it all the time. And there's different radio frequencies and bands. And the thing is, your phone, if they changed the dial on it, wouldn't work properly because there's only so many frequencies on there.
Right.
There's like 3 or 4 bands on them, depending on the phone you use. So you can't sit there and just make shit up. And then I'll have people tell me like, "Well, it can cause cancer." I'm like, "It can?" I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, I would be dead already. I used to carry 2 cell phones around when I worked for a wireless company, and, there was no 5G then, but people used to tell me, you'll laugh at this, Mike. Used to work at the store, people come in and be like, um, "I want to." Yeah, I don't want. I would talk to them about a Bluetooth headset, but I don't want a Bluetooth headset. It's a radio wave frequencies. It's bad to put next to your brain. And I would say, "Well, do you think that the BlackBerry you're putting next to your head is maybe a little bit more powerful than the Bluetooth headset?"
Right.
And just and it would blow their mind. And I would hear this. I heard this all throughout that, and it just you'll go through the fact check, you'll go through it, and then certain people just they don't want to give it any relevance because it's not about the right information. It's about them.
Right.
That's the point. It's about them, not about you, not about the information. It's about them and their ego and their psyche getting pricked because they either A got fooled or they got something wrong. And, you know, it just blows my mind. What's that saying? It's easier to get someone to admit they're wrong than they were fooled or something. Have you heard that?
I've never heard that one, but I'm with you on that.
I'm probably totally bastardizing that saying.
You probably did just totally just
Yeah.
chop
Speaking
that
of
to
a
bits.
speaking of a saying no, when people say to their kids, I have a theory on this. Why did you do that, buddy? What did they really mean? Buddy, why did you do that?
Yeah.
I think they mean, why'd you do that, you little piece of shit?
Going back
They
to
just
your
don't
whole,
wanna
the whole wavelength thing, when people said that about like the amount of wavelengths that are going through the air at any
radio
given,
waves?
yeah,
Yeah.
going through the air at any given time with television wavelengths, with airwaves, Wi-Fi signals from all different kind of devices that we have that are wireless nowadays. Our heads would be exploding on a daily basis, or would be dropping dead nonstop if this was all true.
And that's not to say that there aren't corporations out there or there aren't products that are harmful to people and people that do nefarious or bad
Oh, yeah.
things that absolutely exist and absolutely can happen. 100%. There's no doubt about that. But you have to hone in on those things because you really can't get a hold of them. Not. I mean, listen, uh, it's a worldwide technology. The 5G thing, I can go on hours and hours about that. But I can tell you from a wireless nerd that, you think your phone doesn't have 5G, but it does. And part of it's marketing. But every time, and this is why if you think you're not going to have 5G ever, you're not going to ever use a cell phone because this is how it works. When 5G works, 4G is the backbone of the network and 3G gets turned off. Then when 5G becomes the backbone and there's 6G, then 4G gets turned off. So you'll have to have fucking 5G at some point. It's the truth.
Yep.
And that's how it works as they get faster and faster and faster. It's always been that way. There's wireless networks right now turning off their 3G and 2G networks completely because they're obsolete. So, they pay billions of dollars. They bid for spectrum, these wireless companies and other companies that use spectrum from the government. And that is the truth about that technology. But you're right. It's about them because when you talk about the facts, they get very defensive and you're just like, come on, man. Let's have a real conversation here. And at a certain point, you're like, I don't even want to waste my energy with this anymore. But yeah, you never answered my question, though, Mike.
What was your question? Sorry.
What do you really mean when you say, why did you do that, buddy?
Because I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, my God.
Because I think you got it right on the head. I mean, we talk to our children in a certain manner to try and get them to, get them to a point to try and build them up as decent human beings. We get them trying to not do things that, make them little assholes. But yeah, you can't say what it really means.
I just find it interesting because if I have friends that have kids and I'm sitting back and I'm watching them discipline their kids, in my head, I'm able to decipher what they really meant when they're like, "Buddy, why'd you do that? That's expensive." And in their head, they're like, "You motherfucker." But I get why they can't say that, but it just kind of cracks me
Absolutely.
up.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh. But yeah, man, conspiracy theories, man. It just made me think about that today. I've been thinking about it all week. I mean, there's just so much of it out there now, and it's wild. And it's almost like people are becoming less informed for whatever reason. And no one's perfect. I've been fooled. I've thought things were true that aren't true. Everybody has been in that
Right.
situation. No one's better than than anybody else per se. But I've heard phrases like, "Oh, you're always right." I'm like, Okay, right. So I'm always right. And
Mhm.
sometimes I get smart and say, "Well, that's because you're always wrong," and that really goes up their ass. But
It's also
got
it's also a fact of because I take the time to research. You read a headline, like
exactly,
uh
and that's the thing that social media is guilty of, is making people intellectually lazy because of headlines,
huh.
especially Facebook. And people click on it, and that's to the point now where if you share an article before reading it, Facebook will say, I don't know if it went away or not. Will say, "Do you want to continue sharing this because you didn't read it?" Because sometimes you'll read an article's headline, and if you actually read that article,
Uh huh.
it's actually talking against what you thought you were promoting and pushing for,
Right.
because that's how journalism works. They're trying to get you in there. So the most recent one, and we'll close pretty quick on this, is why are egg prices so high? So people are saying, they killed all these chickens to get the egg prices high. The median cost of a dozen eggs in the U.S. remains $4.25, over twice what it was a year ago. And while increased inflation has contributed somewhat, the real reason egg costs remain as high, this is from Forbes.com, as inflation otherwise eases, is an avian flu that has decimated chicken farmers, causing as many as 58 million chickens to be affected. Do you think that would cause a supply chain issue, Mike?
Uh huh.
Now, then they're going to they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose. They're trying to fuck me on my eggs. And here's the beautiful thing about that. Let's say that we know a company's doing that,
Right.
right? Don't buy eggs. Eat something else. I'm serious.
Hmm.
Because then that will make the prices come down when they have all those goddamn eggs sitting in their warehouse and they got to get rid of them, right? There's a lot of things you could do that with. Like, I'll give you an example. PlayStation and Xbox came out. They were added. I refused. I paid regular price. I refused to pay the price gouging that people were doing with the bots and all that. Some people did, but guess what eventually happened to those guys that were buying those consoles? They eventually took a bath on them because they went down the regular price,
Right.
right? And I refused to participate in that, right? There was a Motorola Android auto adapter that was $80 and it was going for 180 because people were going online buying the shit out of it. It was the only one that worked really well on the market, and I refused to fucking buy it. Set a
There
little
you go.
alert on Amazon, even Amazon, right? They're
Yeah.
increasing their prices. A lot of people are saying they're not getting their shit in 2 days anymore. In my mind, why have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
You know?
I get my
So,
shit
and
in 1 day or 2 days.
yeah, it's
I
because
got
we're
the.
near hubs. These are
I've.
probably people in the middle. We're like, there's hubs near us. Yeah, me too.
I love
Like,
when I order
so,
something first thing in the morning and it's there by 10
as there,
a.m.
yeah, yeah, it's true. If you're in a major city, you're not having a problem. But if you're in other parts of America that's spread out, you're definitely having that
Oh
problem.
my god! Thinking back to like 10 years ago when you had to order something, you had to wait 2 weeks. Now it's like literally same day. Oh, it's so nice.
But that brings up another point, Mike, where people want instant gratification. I know for a fact there's certain things you can buy on Amazon
Right.
that if you go off of Amazon and find it, it might be 30 to 20% cheaper,
Yeah.
because people are so used to the ecosystem and buying it from Amazon. People will take that same product, probably might even be the same seller, and sell it for the increased markup because Amazon's charging them money.
Uh huh.
And on top of that, they know you're going to pay for it because you just want that bitch in 2 days.
Yeah.
I've seen,
Oh yeah.
my vacuum I bought, it's a nice Shark vacuum. I looked at it on Amazon, like, what the fuck? I went on eBay, same company. I
Right.
looked up their name in the seller, fucking $30 cheaper. And
But
a guy
people that
here, you know how much longer I had to wait?
how much?
A fucking day. One
So
day.
people that tune into the live broadcast here on Taking It Deep Facebook page or the Toxic Radio YouTube page that tune in live, those are the people that want instant gratification of this show. Everybody
appreciate
else,
you.
we appreciate you. Everybody else, they'll get it a day or two later. You know, not that far off, almost brand new. Just 1 or 2
We
days
appreciate those
later.
people too.
We appreciate them, but you know what?
Or the people who want to watch the stream later on. Because guys, I don't know if you knew this or not. You can do that. You don't have
Yeah.
to watch it all live. It is on
Yeah.
the Taking a Deep Facebook page
And you can
and
still,
on YouTube /Play Toxic.
and you can still comment, and we'll see your comment.
Yeah, or you can
Pretty
inbox me.
badass.
I've never
Please.
shied away from it.
Slide into Godfrey's DMs.
Yeah, slide. We can have a party.
Face first.
Yeah. I have to trim my mustache. Like I keep itching my nose. Like I just
Dude,
got
I
a
hate
line
that
of
when
glow.
you don't trim the top of it. It just tickles your nose.
Oh
and
my
and
god!
You're like this,
I
and you're itching it. And people are like, that guy's picking his nose. You're like, no, it's
Yeah.
itching.
No, it's not a pick.
It's a
Not
scratch.
a pick. Yeah, that's like when Jerry Seinfeld in episodes like this. He's like, no pick, no
Right.
pick.
But we do
Yeah, well-
appreciate all of you guys. We got some
We
cool
do, we
stuff
do.
coming up. We can't talk about it right now. Some enhancements, some extra stuff, some changes. So stay tuned. Might not be instant gratification for you guys, but it's going to be coming. Damn.
Did that come up? My complicated system. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And we'll be back next week. Things are approved. We're gonna get a little bit more involved here as I'm not juggling 3 shows. I'll be, we'll be doing the Birds Deep show probably every other week or coming up. Mike knows that the off season is not as
Mhm.
blissful, but you will hear Birds Deep shows because the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Go
I heard
Eagles.
that. I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And
I mean, This week's show is definitely one to tune in as we go between their NFC champion win and them going to the Super Bowl. Tune in.
Yep, tune in. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Google it if you want to find out where to listen to us. Subscribe. And this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.